Will equity, crowdfunding, and venture capital move to the blockchain? So sometimes when you talk about convergence, it becomes technology looking for a problem. Sometimes people get so focused on the gee whiz features that they forget to reverse engineer from pain points. All value is created by solving problems, and so convergence of technologies don't mean anything if they don't solve real problems. That having been said, there's a lot of interacting forces in the financial space that are coming together towards specific but as yet unknown ends. And let's examine some of them. So first you have the digitalization, consumer finance applications like Square, PayPal, Venmo, and then, the Chinese super apps that have taken over e-commerce that are basically flattening banks. Then you have the digital currencies that are providing safe havens for inflations in our gold 2.0 for Bitcoin and smart contracts and other DeFi and other capabilities for crypto assets, including non-fungible tokens as well for collectibles. And then you have the rise of blockchain technology for a whole host of use cases that is both enterprise and consumer, and is both done by large companies such as IBM as well as startups. So in the capital allocation considerations, right now you have a couple competing tendencies. One is towards the large mega fund structure like SoftBank, where they just throw capital to gain market share. And they try to dictate markets by saying, we're going to invest so much money in this market leader that it's going to become uncatchable. Obviously, WeWork is the antithesis example of that not working. And the jury still remains to be seen whether you can get a large enough fund that could just kind of move markets if you do it somewhat intelligently. And then the antithesis of the super large fund is the piecemeal crowdfunding. I mean, first you had ICOs, and we'll get into IPOs and SPACs in a minute. And then you have, I forget all the terminologies, there's several other new ones, but now you have DeFi, like Uniswap and things like that, Sushi Swap, but you also have equity crowdfunding. So you have Start Engine, you have WeFunder, and companies that are going getting funded. Instead of traditional angel or seed rounds, through the Jobs Act, through people. It used to be just accredited investors, but now I believe anybody could give money, and some of these sites you could donate as less as like $99, and some of these companies are raising millions of dollars. So even for angel investing and seed investing, I mean, you have now syndicates, you have AngelList, and you have the incubators, you have Techstars, you have Y Combinator and quite a few others. And then you have the companies like Microsoft and others are doing their own incubators so they can get first look. Then you have the traditional venture capital funds, which rely on expertise and deal flow and reputation. So how are all these things going to compete against each other and interplay? So one interesting aspect of the blockchain is that it it has incredible structure to it. So right now you just have a limited cap table because it's confusing, but you could have not only extremely large cap tables, where you could have like hundreds of thousands perhaps of investors to a single company, but you could also have fluid. So you could have like if then statements that, you invest at a certain set of terms, but if this happens, then that happens, then you get an increase or a decrease, or it could be multi-layered, so it could not be based upon one factor. It's like if these 5 factors happen, then you get 20% more. If these 3 factors happen, and then these 2 factors happen afterwards. So basically, with artificial intelligence and computation power, then quantum computers coming into it, it's going to make investing like more complex than it's ever been before. It's kind of like investing as derivatives. Right now, investing started, with spot trading, and now you have options, and then you have derivatives, and then you have all kinds of, advanced types of investing. It's going to be the same thing with funding. Venture capital and equity crowdfunding, when they start being infused with artificial intelligence, are going to be like so complex that you're not going to really have humans. Like they say, artificial intelligence. Elon Musk says that artificial intelligence is going to be able to do everything better than humans. He didn't say some things. He said everything. And so venture capitalists will not exist at some point. It'll just be a venture AI, and whether the wisdom of the crowds, and that type of corresponding AI is more powerful than a traditional VC model, and is more traditional than the consumer app model, in terms of like how money gets moved around, remains to be seen. But it's really in flux, and a lot of these things are competing with each other.